Good evening and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad that you all have joined me for another night of information, revelation, and change. I am here tonight just to share something with you that I thought would be like important to you. It's important to me, so I say it's got to be important to somebody else. Um, Tonight is going to be a show of just me sharing some things with you, but I have I have it here with me. It's something that I was looking at maybe like about 3 weeks or so ago. But this month we've been talking about women making history. Women, I see women, like I said before on the previous shows, I see women as making an impact, as making history, because you don't know the person behind the person. Because a lot of times we see that person that steps out on a stage, or we see that person that's ministering to millions, but we don't know the person that's behind, that's doing all the work, that's doing a lot of work in the back. It takes a lot to make sure that the person that you see standing before you is like looking the way that they look, doing the things that they do. Is all work behind the scenes, and you never know who has ministered to that person, who has been that person's confidant, that person that they can go and talk to, that person that they can be with, that person that they can just share their total selves with, so that when they come in your presence, they're giving you the best of themselves. So I applaud the women. This is rounding up Women's History Month. This is the last Friday in March. And I just want to applaud all the women who do so much and who have done so much and are yet doing everything that they're doing right now. I want to thank Candace McEwen for coming on my show and sharing with us. She was phenomenal, as so was, my other guests that came on. Miss Andrea Hines, she came on, and I thank her for coming on. And Persephone Canty, she was on last week, and I have had a great time talking to these three women. There's so many others that I want to talk to, and believe me, I'm not leaving you out. Send me an email, wholebeautiful@gmail.com, and I will be happy to get you on the show, because I love it when you come on here and when you share your story. I believe that everyone has a story. I believe that everyone has something that they can share that's going to reach the heart of somebody else. So your story is not insignificant. Your story is important. And it doesn't have to be a traumatic story. It doesn't have to be a story of tragedy and then triumph. It can be just a great story, because it's you and it's your life. And your life is important. You never know the people that you're impacting. You never know the things that people may have gone through or not have gone through. But by them sharing their life with you, sharing their story with you, how it can impact your life and change, how your life can impact somebody else's life. Help them change to be the person they really want to be. Help them see that everybody doesn't have a tragedy story, because they don't. We all go through different things in our life, because life is life. And we go through the things that we go through, but not everybody's story is a tragic one. Sometimes people, they had a pretty good life and they're still living a pretty good life. So, but you want to share that with people, because some people think, I got to go out here and have some kind of trouble before I can have a triumph. But that's not necessarily so. Your trouble may not be somebody else's trouble, you know? So everybody has a story. Everybody's life is significant. It's significant. It's important. And I want you to know that tonight. I want you to know that your life matters. Your life is important, male or female. But I've been talking about females. I've been talking about women all this month, and I want to round this up with talking about you as a person. Whether you're male listening to me tonight, or whether you're female listening to me tonight, I want to talk just about you and your story, about you and trusting your gut instinct about some things, because sometimes we don't trust ourselves. And like I've said so many times before, we always take care of other people. We're always with the other people, taking care of them, making sure that they are right. But then sometimes we don't take that time to spend with us. We don't take that time to be quiet. We don't take that time to sit down and really look at our lives and say, okay, what is it that I really want to do? What is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And we keep going in these circles. And it's a lot of times we go in these circles because we're not even recognizing that it is a circle. We're not. We're not recognizing that that is a circle. Good evening, Dana. How are you doing? I am so glad that you have joined me tonight. Um, but a lot of times we don't realize that we're in those circles. We keep going circling, 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 and not really realizing we're in a circle. And we need to press forward, and we need to go forward. Tonight, I want to talk to you about banking on you. Hey, Josie, I'm glad that you're doing tonight. How you doing? I'm glad you're here for this show tonight. I want y'all to like. I want you to comment. I want you to share. Yes, it is vital. Soul care is vital. And I want you to realize tonight that you need to bank on you. We hear these terms, this terminology sometimes where people say, you know, you can take it to the bank. You can bank on that. And what they're saying is, when they're saying you can take it to the bank, is that it's definitely going to happen. This is definitely, without securely guaranteed, this is going to happen. And then sometimes we say, you know, you can bank on it. That means that you can put your hopes, your confidence in that something. You can depend on it, because why? It's going to come through. So what I want you to do is to bank on you. I want you to bank on you and what God has put in your heart, what he's put in you, your purpose. I want you to take time with you this weekend. I want you to sit with you. I want you to have, if you need to have that conversation with you. I have conversations with myself. And I sit and I talk to myself, and sometimes I write down things concerning myself. Why? Because I want to be the best me possible. And I want to see sometimes what's going on with me. So I will sit down and just be with me. Just have lunch with me, or just have breakfast with me, or I go and take me for a walk. You know, I go out and walk, and just to be quiet and just to listen and to really hear what's going on in my heart. Because why? Because I need to take care of me. I need to bank on me. I need to trust that what God has put in me is valuable. It is important. I'm here for a reason. And I want to know what that reason is. And I don't want to burn myself out running around doing something that is not me. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. That's not what's a part of me to do. And sometimes we get in the cycle of just going and going and going, and we never take the time to slow down. We're always giving out, giving out, giving out, giving out, giving out. And then you never take anything in. Vice versa. If you always taking things in, taking things in, taking things in, and you never give out, that's bad too. I saw it demonstrated as in breath. And I was like, wow. Because if you keep breathing in and you never breathe out, you're probably going to pass out after a while if you're holding your breath and you're not breathing out. And if you just keep trying to breathe out and not taking anything in, you can't do that either. So there has to be that balance of breathing in and breathing out. There has to be that balance of you sitting and taking some time with yourself and banking on you, trusting that what God has placed on the inside of you is a good. And looking at those things that you said, I might can tweak that a little bit. Okay, I see that this is an issue with me. I need to deal with this issue. I need to sit down and do it. I do my homework on myself. Yes, do the homework on your own self. Sometimes we see things and they're right there, and we're not paying attention because we're so bombarded or so wrapped up in everything else that we're not taking the time to look at ourselves and see that we need to do something with this, with our hearts, with who we are. So it's good to take that time to say, okay, this weekend or this particular day, I'm going to take some time out for me. I'm going to sit with me, and I'm going to sit down. I'm going to write down what I hear in my heart. I'm going to write down those things that maybe be like, oh, this right here is like bothering me right now. I want to put my goals out there, and I want to see this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to accomplish. I want to make a list and say, okay, these are the things that I want to accomplish. I want to love on me, because what do I do when I love on me? Then I'm able to love on you. If I'm kind to myself, I'll be kind to you. If I love myself, then I can love you. If I'm speaking evil of me, don't expect sweet words to come out for you, because eventually they're going to be bad too. Because if I'm not taking care of me, there's no way that I can fully take care of somebody else and really like take care of them and really mean it from my heart if I'm not taking care of me. So I need to take care of me. And this is a little bit, it may be a little bit different, but I'm going to go with banking. I'm going to go with the word banking, and I'm going to go and I'm going to share with you what each letter means to me and what I feel that you need to do. This is Angela. What I feel, and it's worked for me. So I think that it will work for somebody that's listening. So I'm going to share with you what I have studied and looked at for myself. And what I'm talking about tonight, guys, again, is banking on you. You can put bank on me in the comment section. I'm banking on me. Yes. Because you are your own opportunity. I wrote that on my calendar about a month or so ago. I put it on there. I was like, you are your own opportunity. And I am. I am my own opportunity. I just need to listen. I just need to hear what God is speaking to my heart. I just need to know which direction I need to flow and do it. Because why? Because I am my own opportunity. And every day that I wake up, I have another opportunity to do something different or to continue to do the thing that I've been trying to do. And I'm just going to keep pressing and keep moving forward in that thing. Because one thing I do know is stagnant waters stink and they breed disease. So we can't be stagnant. We can't be just sitting and not doing anything. And because we will begin to stink, you will begin to just, disease will set in when you're not moving. You need to move, but that's further down. And what I want to share, my first thing I want to share with you is B, of banking on you. B, build relationships. Build relationships with somebody. Have a friendship. You are not an island. You are not out there by yourself. So you need to bring into your circle those who you know are supportive, those who you know got your back, and sometimes it's a process. We can't just bring everybody in, but we can bring in those people that we know are supporting us. We know that we can stand together with our spouse if we're married. We can stand together with that friend. I have a friend. I have two friends that's been friends with me for over 30 years. They've been there for me, and I can call them right now and say, hey, and they'll be like, yes, So, and they'll tell me the truth, and they stand with me. And I am so glad that I have those friends, but it took time. I had to build the relationship. I had to build it. I couldn't just sit out there and try to do things all by myself. I had to build the relationship. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure that you are building the relationship. You want to make sure that you build your work relationships. When you're working with people, you need to build those relationships too. And guys, I'm just checking out some things here on my phone because I'm trying to do two things at once. Yes. Um, but you want to make sure that yes, Dana, I'm begging on me. And yes, I am my own opportunity. We are. Thank you for putting that in the comment section, because we need to build those relationships. You need to build, if it's work related, if it's even building relationships with your family members, because sometimes we are so far away from our family till, to me, it's just horrible that it happens that way. but we need to learn how to build relationships. Sometimes we will build a relationship with people we work with. We'll build it with other people that we don't know. We'll get to know them, and we building that strong foundation and that strong relationship. And people that are our blood relatives, we like, and I understand that certain situations are like they are. And just like we watch people who are not our relatives, we watch those who are. But you need to build relationships. You need to be able to build a relationship. That's part of taking care of you. That's part of banking on you. Another thing that you need to do is you need to be an active learner. You need to be able to be active in your learning. Don't ever let that die. We forever learn. Don't get to the place where you feel like, oh, I got it, I know it all, and I can't receive anything else from anybody else because I got it. No, somebody else has something that they can share with you. So be open and ready to receive. Be an active learner. Be active in it. Somebody share something with you. People can share something with me, even if they're talking and I hear a word that I have not heard before. I will go and I search out that word. Why? Because I love words. But I will go in and I'll search out the word. I'll be like, oh, that's what they meant. Oh, okay. Now I understand this, because I was one that would go to the dictionary. I would choose me a word, and I have a word for the day. And I would try to use that word in a sentence while I'm talking in conversation. I would just try to put that word in there. And it has helped me. Why? Because when I hear people talking and they mention certain words, before I wouldn't know wouldn't have known what that meant. But now I do. And I hear it and I was like, oh, that was my word. And that means this. That's what they're talking about. Because sometimes people can be talking and we just don't understand. And why not go look up the word? Be an active learner. Go look up the word. Read some books. Go in, read a book, learn about the thing that you want to know about. I love people. So I love reading their biographies, their autobiographies. I love reading about people, their lives, what has happened to them. Why are they the way they are now? Because if you go and you begin to look at their story, you begin to realize that's why this person does this, or this why, they may have went in total opposite direction, but you wouldn't know that until you read their story. So I've been reading a lot lately about people's lives, their stories, and getting their books and trying to see, okay, how did you grow up? What was going on in your life? And I start to see we are more alike than what we think. So we are each important because we're individuals and none of us are exactly alike. So we need to be active in our learning. We need to learn how to trust everybody. Hi, Macy. Thank you for joining in tonight. Thank you for being here. Yes, we need to be active in our learning. So first, we need to try to build relationships with people, build some friendships, be the first one. And I am not always the first one. It took me a while to do that because I don't just walk up and talk to people. I have had to make myself go and talk to people and say, hi, how are you doing? Or, hi, my name is Angela. I don't. That's not me. But I'm learning to break out of that shell and do that. But build some relationships. Be an active learner. Don't just sit by and let things pass you by because you don't know. You can learn. Even when you're working a job, I found out, even working my job, I found out that, hey, when I presented with this is information I may not know. But if I take the time to learn it, I can be good at this, what they're trying to show me to do, this job, this extra piece that they're bringing in for me to do. I used to get flustered and just get upset and be like, oh my goodness, I don't know this and I don't understand this. And I had to think about it. The people that's in that job, there was a time that they didn't know it. They didn't understand it. But now they've been in this thing like for 25, 30 years. Of course they know it. Of course they've learned it. Over the years, they have learned. They have been active in their learning. They have learned the job. So now they can do it. And they do it so quickly and just with ease. Why? Because they have been doing it a while. So I had to start looking at stuff and say, Angela, this is just information you don't know. But once you get this information, hi, Charlotte. Hey, Queen, how are you? Once you get this information, you can be active in your learning. Once you get that information, guess what? You can flow with that information because you're an active learner. You have learned it, and now you can do the job too. Now you can go and participate in this thing too. Why? Because I took the time to learn. So we're going to build some relationships, and we're going to be active in our learning. The next thing is the end. We're going to learn to say no without feeling guilty about it. It is just that simple. You have to learn to say no and not feel guilty. I read a book years ago, and it was by Robert Laridan, and he was talking about saying no without feeling guilty about it. Because sometimes we just feel so guilty, like we have to do everything that everybody asks us to do, and you do not have to do everything they ask you to do. Sometimes you have to say no, and no is a complete sentence. It's just no. I don't have to give you an explanation. I don't have to try to explain myself why I told you no, I couldn't do this, or no, I can't participate in that. No is no is no. Back in the it was a kids show that came on years ago, and they had a little song where it was saying no means no, no means no, no means no means no means no. Means no. So I was like, yeah, that sometimes that's my song. It means no. I can't do it. It's not that I don't like you. It's not that I don't think that this is an awesome thing that you're doing. But if I can't participate, I can't participate. If I can't do this thing that is going on because I got all this other stuff going on, then my no is no. It's not like a harsh no. It's just saying no. I can't do that. Or if I have to take that time to spend with me so that I can get myself together, then no, because I got to make sure that I'm okay. I got to make sure that I'm good. So I can't say yes to everything that comes across my path. I can't say yes. Oh, yes, I'm going to do this. And yes, I'm going to do that. And yes, I'm going to do this. And then I'm all burnt out. So we got to make sure that we're building relationships. We got to make sure that we're active in our learning. We got to make sure that we're saying no when we need to say no, and stop feeling guilty about it. Stop feeling bad about it. Stop feeling bad that I had to say no to this person concerning this thing, or I had to say no to this activity and I really wanted to participate, but I had to say no. No is okay to say and mean it and keep going. And it doesn't have to be like a harsh no. You don't have to go off, You could just say no and keep it moving. What are we learning about? Banking on ourselves. We're going to trust that what God has put in us, that He will bring it up out of us, but we got to take the time to spend with ourselves. We got to take time to cultivate what's on the inside of you. We all the time want somebody else to come cultivate it, somebody else to help it grow. Why don't we water our own ground? Why don't we cultivate what's in us? Why don't we trust what God has placed in us, what He's placed in our spirit, so that we can bring it out and be the people that He's called us to be? There's so much in each and every one of us that needs to come out and shine. And I want you to be your best self. I want you to shine. I want the world to see your light. Why? So that others can be drawn to that light, and then they can come to you and you can tell them about the light. Who is the light? Jesus. So you can share the word with them. But you can't do that if you're in a dark place yourself. You can't do that if you're thinking that you're an island and you all by yourself, because you won't build a relationship. You ain't trying to be active in your learning. And then you saying yes to everything and can't get nothing accomplished because you done said yes to too many things. So you got to learn to say no without feeling guilty about it. Our next thing is the K in banking. You want to be kinetic. You want to have constant motion. You want to push toward your goals. Set some goals for yourself. Set something and say, okay, I'm going to accomplish it. I'm going to accomplish this in 5 years. I'm going to accomplish this next year. You're going to do your short-term goals and your long-term goals. You may say, you know what, in 5 years, I'm going to accomplish this. You may say in 2 years, I'm going to get this done. You may be even saying right now, tomorrow, I'm going to get this done. Whatever that goal is, set some goals for yourself. Have some type of activity that you set for yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to handle this different. I'm going to think differently in this area. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm going on this trip, or oh, I'm going over there. It could be I'm going to read a book a month. I'm going to read a book a month, or I'm going to take 2 months, and every 2 months I'm going to read a new book. I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to go try something new. It could be whatever it is that's in you, but set the goal. Be kinetic, constant motion. Because when you got constant motion, there will be no disease there. There's not going to be any disease there. Even when you exercise, it's like motion. That's why you can go walk and you can lose the weight. You can move around the house. You can just walk in place while you watching TV. While you watching a movie, just walking and just marching in place. Up, legs down, just marching in place. Because of the movement, it will tone you. Because of the movement, it will help you to be stronger. It will strengthen you, all because of the movement. So don't sit and be still. You got to be on the go. You got to be moving. And it's not saying that you don't take time to rest. I am saying make sure that you are moving towards your goal. Make sure you set goals and you move towards them. If you have to do it one by one, then okay, this is the one that I'm working on for this year. This is the one that I'm working on for this month. These are things that I want to accomplish this weekend. Set those goals, go forward and accomplish them. The next thing you want to do is the I in banking. You want to be innovative. You want to have new ideas, new methods, be an original. You are unique. You are different. The word of God tells us that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Nobody's like us. Nobody has our handprint, thumbprint. Nobody has our handprint at all. We have our own individual. You are individual. So find some new ideas. The idea of you looking at me on this screen right now was somebody's idea. They came up with it. And here I am. So God has given you ideas also. So why not work on those ideas? Why not, push forward with the idea that he gave you? You might be saying, everybody wrote a book. I ain't trying to write my book because everybody done wrote. No, write the book. Why? Because it's in you to do. And if it's in you to do, write it. Sit down and start writing. If it's in you to create a different program that people can use, or create a program of exercise that people can bank on and say, oh, that works for me, because not everything works for everybody. And we think because somebody created Wonder Bread, we think we can't create nature's own. Yes, you can. It's like it's so many out there that you can create. It's so many different like brands and so many different styles and you can create your own and be successful at it. So make sure that you allow yourself that time that we were talking about in the beginning about you are your own opportunity. Yes, you are. You are your own opportunity. You need to sit down. What's your new idea? What is your new method of way of doing certain things? What is in me that God put in me that's original just to me? Something that he gave me and I know is like in me. When he created me, it was there. And I want to bring that forth. Why? Because I want to help me, but I want to help other people too. And it's going to help them, but you got to be innovative. You got to have new ideas. You got to be constantly growing. Because if somebody's not growing, if a baby's not growing and they're staying up in a baby state and they like 15 and they still in a baby state, okay, you like, even if it's 2 and they still in the real baby state and you're like, they're not growing. You think, okay, something's wrong, something happened, they're not growing. And that happens to us sometimes when we just decide that we're going to shut down. We need to be able to grow. And how are we going to grow? With our new ideas, being innovative, with our new methods, being an original. Okay? So you want to make sure that you are innovative. The N in banking on yourself is the next. You're always looking forward to what's to come. The Lord said, behold, I will do a new thing. Yep. A new thing. He said he was going to do it. He, even in his word, it says his mercies are new every morning. So I'm looking forward to the next. Not that I'm not enjoying my present, because I'm enjoying where I am on the way to where I'm going. And I'm looking for the next. God, what's the next thing that you want to do? What's your next move for me? What's your next move for the kingdom? God, what is it that you want to do in me and through me? What is it that you want to do in the church as a whole, not just my church that I'm in, but what do you want to do within the kingdom of God? What is the next move? What is the next thing that we're headed for? What is the next thing that's coming? You always want to have that excitement of next is coming. Oh, you're excited about what God is getting ready to do in your life, what he's going to do in other people's life. You're always excited about that next. So that's your N in banking. The last letter in banking is G, and that's grace. Simple elegance. You want to carry yourself with confidence, and you want to walk in that grace. Give yourself some grace. That's what you want to do. Give yourself some grace. Because sometimes, you know what? We give grace to everybody else. And then we do something and we do not give ourselves grace. We just, beat up on ourselves, talk bad about ourselves. That self-talk, as Miss A always put it, that self-talk is horrible. We talk so bad about us. Stop talking bad about yourself. Stop being mean to you. Stop being the mean girl to you. The mean girl. Don't be the mean girl to you. And then you won't be the mean girl to somebody else. You got to stop being mean to yourself. And sometimes people don't see it out here, but up here, just trashing yourself, all in your head, talking about everything that's wrong with you, and all this is wrong and that's wrong, and you just beat up on yourself, and you're yelling and fussing and saying all these negative things about yourself all day long. Stop doing that to you. Start caring enough about you that you say, oh, wait a minute, that's a negative thought. Nope. You are not going to talk bad about you. Sometimes you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? You need to stop it. Stop talking about yourself like that. Stop talking about my friend. Because I'm my friend. Don't be talking about her like that. She is beautiful. She is gorgeous. She's going to make it. She's going to get through this. She is awesome. She is amazing. She is phenomenal. Her ideas are great. She is important. She makes an impact in this world. And we have to do that sometimes. Because why? Because we got to speak good about ourselves. We want to bank on us. You want to bank on you. Where you're saying, you know what? You could take it to the bank. You could count on it. I'm going to accomplish this. I'm going forward. And I'm going to bank on me. My hope and my confidence is in everything that God put in me. I can depend on me to be there for me. Because sometimes people say, well, I don't have nobody. I don't got nobody that's going to be there for me. You can be there for you. You can be there for you. Well, how do I do that? You spend time in the presence of God. You hear what he has to say concerning you, and you trust in it, and you bank on that. You say, you know what? You place greatness on the inside of me. And because you put the greatness on the inside of me, I know that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and I am going to accomplish what it is that you have sent out to your word to accomplish. You sent your word. You sent the word, Angela, to parents, Joe and Annie, and you had her come forth. So therefore, you want her to accomplish something, because you just didn't put me here to take up space. You put me here for a reason and for a purpose. And I want to accomplish my purpose. I want to walk it out. I want to live it out. I want to be the best me that I can be. I want to bank on me. Why? Because Christ banked on me. He trusted me. He came and gave his life for me. For me. Just for me. And I need to be present in that. And I need to be present in that moment. And then I need to trust that he put everything in me that I need. And at the time that I need it, it's going to arise and it's going to come forth. But I need to cultivate it. I need to water it. You know, we always talking about watering somebody else's seed, planting a seed in somebody else's life. When was the last time that you planted a seed in your own life? When is the last time that you start watering yourself with that word? Just watering yourself with that, with those good affirmations, those good things that you're saying about yourself, building yourself up so that you can go forward and be everything that you can be. Don't let nobody else put you down and put you out, but don't let it be you that talk bad about you. No. Walk in the confidence that he's given you. Walk in the confidence knowing that you are who you are. Love you enough to just be you. We saw 3 women on the show. Like I talked about them in the beginning, Candace McEwen. We talked to Ms. Andrea Hines, and we talked to Persephone Canty. And if you go back and you look at those interviews, each one of those women are totally different. Each one of those women are in different age groups. They are totally different people, but there is a grace, a confidence about each one of them. And they are loving being in their own skin. And I love it. I love it when you can just be you. I'm not in competition with you, and I don't want to be in competition with you. I want to be the best me that I can be. And the only thing that I compete against is me. It's like, how much better can I be today than I was yesterday? How can I improve myself? How can I continue to grow? By banking on me, by trusting that what's in me is good. And I have to work on those things that I know that needs work. Like we said in the beginning, if I say that needs work, then I need to kind of work on it. But I want you to remember this tonight. I want you to remember this weekend. Like we said in the beginning, you are your own opportunity. You need to bank on you. I want you to remember those 2 things. You are your own opportunity, and you need to bank on you. Why? Because Christ gave his life. We're coming up on Easter, and that's like right there in my head. But Christ gave his life for you. He did it just for you. Just for you. Nobody else. I mean, you can look at it and say, he did it just for me. Just for me. Jesus came and did it just for me. And if he came and he did that just for me, why can't I be good to me? Why can't I love on me? Why can't I see the blessing and how beautiful I am and how gorgeous I am and how he has made me is just phenomenal, because he made me me. He made me who I am, and I can cultivate it. I can grow it. I can put that good seed in me and bring forth much fruit. Why? Because he created me and I'm good ground. You have to speak those things into your heart and into your mind. Don't let the negative pull you down. Keep pressing and keep moving forward. Keep being who you have been ordained to be. I'm going to tell you this, and then we can just go close out the show for the night. I think about the woman at the well. I think about her and her experience with Jesus Christ. And she's out there, she goes and to get the water. And here is Jesus there saying, get me some water. You know what? And I thought about it, and I was like, man, she went out there because she wanted to go at the time of day when nobody else was going to be there. She wanted to go out there because she wanted to get this water and get back because she didn't want nobody messing with her, bothering her, saying mean things to her, talking about her, whatever. She was like, at this time of the day, I can go, I can get what I need, get back, and avoid all the people. And here he is. She could have said, you know what? This man is getting on my nerves. I don't want to talk to him. This man sitting, what he doing out here? They're going to ask me for some water. I mean, she could have had a straight attitude, but she didn't. She had a conversation. And by the end of that conversation, her whole life had changed. We need to watch and we need to pay attention to things that are going on around us, because sometimes we write things off, sometimes we get angry, sometimes we get upset. But she could have been like, you know what, it's another man out here trying to talk to me. I already done been with the 5, and here he is. What, he think he gonna be number 6? She could have had an attitude, but she did not have an attitude. She had the conversation and her life was changed. So I'm telling you, sometimes you have to have the conversation with you. Sometimes you got to pay attention to what's going on around you. You need to bank on you. You need to pay attention to what's in here and know every situation, everything I don't need to run from, everything I don't need to be like, I need to be involved in, and everything I don't need to pull away from. I just have to pay attention. I have to pay attention to what's in my heart. I have to pay attention to what's going on around me. Because has she walked away, or has she not carried on the conversation, she wouldn't have got what she needed. She wouldn't have been out professing, come see a man, She wouldn't have had that testimony, but because she decided to have a conversation, that changed her life. What conversations are you going to have this weekend? What thing are you going to do to change your life forever? Because why? One word from God can do it, can change your life forever. We want to bank on us. We want to trust that when God made us, he broke the mold. He was like, okay, I'm not making another you. I'm just going to make you, and you are important to me. Know that you're important to him. Know that you're important to Whole and Beautiful. You are a part of my Whole and Beautiful nation, and I am so excited that you are. I pray that something tonight that I shared with you has helped you, is going to encourage you. Share with somebody else. Let them know that they can come back and listen tomorrow at 4 p.m. and they will get this same little word that I gave y'all on tonight, this same just joy that I have in what I've shared with you on tonight. Bank on you. Take it to the bank. Know that you can bank on you, and you can trust that God has made you for a divine purpose, all right? And walk in that purpose. Let me know how you're doing. Send me a whole email at wholebeautiful@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you and to hear what God is doing in your life. I thank every listener that is on here tonight. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for allowing me in your homes, in your car, wherever you're listening. I appreciate you taking the time to sit and to listen to something that I had to say. I am Angela D. Oliphant, allowing you to see, to hear, and to know that Whole and Beautiful is not just your destination, guys. It is most definitely your journey. So continue to walk with me on this journey to being whole and beautiful. I love you much. I'll see you again next week at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook, on YouTube. Oh, man. We're getting more places that we're going to be seen and heard. But yeah, Facebook and YouTube. Join me. I'll be right here. Have a great weekend. Love you much, guys. Good night.